All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Otis,
And I'm Jerry.
and thank you so much for being here. This is our last show of the season. Um, it has been a good season. It's been enjoyable, except for the fact that the Niners just were horrible. But other than that, they wound up with the 11th pick of the draft. So
Yeah, I
they'll
saw it.
they'll waste it on somebody, and they
Well,
won't
he's
get
going to draft
what
an
they need.
edge. We already know that. He's drafting
Yeah,
defensive line.
and it'll be somebody from Oregon. I'm not sure why
Probably.
they love Oregon players, but they do. And
Lynch is going
so
to draft a defensive lineman. We already know that. Yeah.
yeah. So um, I'm gonna do something with you, little buddy, this week just a little differently. So this will be interesting.
Huh.
So give you I'm going to give you a team's salary cap number. And
Oh,
I'm going to tell you how far they are under or over the salary cap. And then you tell me whether that's a playoff team or not.
oh,
So we're going to kind of look at the correlation between the salary cap, how much owners are trying to save. And
yeah.
then I looked it up. So you don't have to spend all the money in the salary cap for that season.
No,
You can carry it over to the next season.
correct.
However, in a 4-year period, you have to spend 89% of what the salary cap is. So
Okay.
I think it kind of, except for the teams that went over the salary cap, I think it's probably a pretty good indication of whether you're a playoff team or not. Because, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So, all
Baseball
right.
needs that rule, by the way. Yeah.
So to start with, this team was 118,004,976 under the salary cap. Were they a playoff team?
No.
Very good. It was the Patriots,
Yeah.
who just fired their coach after 1 year. Okay,
Which is, yeah.
so they
And,
didn't.
and like we were saying, Robert Kraft fired him saying we need to build a championship contender right away.
And you're not
Well,
going to do that if
yeah,
you're
Mr. Kraft, you might need to
118.
open your wallet first. Yeah,
Yes, if you're 118 million below the salary cap,
you're not gonna make.
you're
Yeah,
not going to build a championship team. So
no.
not only did they only give him 1 year, they gave him nothing to work with. How do you know if a coach is good or not when he's put in that
Yeah,
position?
no, he got that's a bad. You started the season with Jacoby Brissett as your starter.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
So
good.
now here's
Not good.
another team. They were 77,884,480 below the salary cap.
I'm gonna guess that whoever that is did make it.
Very good. It was the Commanders.
Yeah.
It was the Commanders.
Well,
And
so,
and the
which
Commanders
bodes which
Commanders
bodes
have a
well for
good
them for next year because they can spend some of that, carry it
yeah,
over to next year. Yeah,
yeah. And the Commanders have a good coach.
yeah.
So they're they're within that range. They didn't spend all they had to spend, but they spent a lot of it. So
And,
they're in that range that they paid who they needed to pay to be there, and they have a good coach. So
yeah,
that
that's
kind
an
of
attractive destination. I think if I was a free agent,
yeah. All right, how about
they got
this
good things
one?
going.
Oh, and this salary cap number I'm giving you is
Uh
the
huh.
effective cap space. So
Okay.
it's the cap space minus the cap spending minus the dead money. Okay, so this one was 41,680,322 under the salary cap.
I gotta guess that they made it.
And you're right. That was Rasputin and the Steelers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now, now, now the
Yeah, and
thing,
so, but what are they paying Wilson? $1 million?
yeah, they're paying them 1 million or
Is
whatever
that
the veteran minimum is. They're paying him
what are they
that.
paying him next year? Do we know that already?
No, because his contract was just for this year.
Oh,
So if they re-sign
they
him, then they have to take on the money that Denver paid this year. So, but
probably not gonna. Well, I hate. Who are they opening against next week? Denver? No, Ravens.
Steelers are
Yeah,
playing the Ravens. Yeah,
they're done.
yeah.
They're done.
Now here's what's funny. The dead cap money, 45,335.
Wow.
That is nothing.
No.
That is absolute.
Yeah.
And I think they were. Let me see. I'll look here real quick. Yes, they had the least amount of dead money of all the teams in the NFL. So what that basically means is they sign the players to the correct contract. They get rid of him if they feel that he has nothing left to give them.
Right.
And so they're not on the hook for anything
Yeah,
beyond that. So,
I'm just trying to think real quick, top of mind. Maybe the Chiefs, but let's put the Steelers safely as one of the top five. I'm thinking just best run organizations.
oh, sure.
I'd say top five. I don't know if it's number one, but
Yeah,
it's
well,
top
oh
five.
yeah. They're in the top five. They do what they
They
have
do
to
what they know
do.
how to run a football team.
Yeah. So now this team was 41,463,872 below the salary cap.
Okay, I'm gonna go on just a limb this time, more of a gamble, and say that they did not make it.
Oh, you missed one.
Okay.
That was the Broncos.
Wow.
But moving over a little bit, their dead money, 32,453,672. And I think that's all Russell
Well,
Wilson.
they got right the luxury. What's Bo Nix isn't going to make much for
No.
another 2 years? Yeah.
Yeah, well, another 2 years, and I think after the third year they can sign him to an extension.
You're right.
If
Or
he
tag
keep,
him, I think. Yeah.
yeah, if he keeps progressing like this, they will. But the salary cap in 2 years
It'll be higher. Yeah.
will be higher, will
Yeah.
be much higher. So if they don't spend this money, they can carry this over to next year.
Right.
And depending on what they spend next year, they can carry that over to the following year and then give him a larger amount of money if he's
Yeah.
still progressing. So um,
I think
now
he will.
these guys are
The-
5,367,625 over the salary cap.
I'm going to say that whoever this is made it.
Yeah, it's the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're over.
I
They're,
know
they're-
I can. I'm not. I'll let you keep going down your list, but I'm already guessing this is going to probably include the Niners and Browns.
well,
It's,
the Browns are over.
I know that, and they didn't make it, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the Niners are very close to being over,
Let me see. I don't think
right?
they are.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think they're under, let me
Yeah, the
find
Browns
them.
are over. I know that.
No, the 49ers were almost 50 million under the salary cap.
Then you're in good shape. Yeah.
And they've got 17 million, or yeah, about 17 million of dead money. So the Browns have 39. Is that the Browns there? Let's see. Yeah,
Yeah, they're over.
the Browns have 40 million in dead money.
Whew.
And that probably accounts for most of why they're well.
Watson, Watson, Watson. Yeah.
Watson's contract
Yeah.
probably accounts for all of that,
Yeah.
being over the cap
I
and
think if he, I don't know, if Watson doesn't play next year, I do think there's some sort of relief for the Browns. I don't know how, but
they reworked his contract before this last year.
is it insurance or there's something that you did they
I'm
did
not sure
to
how they reworked it, but they
yeah.
reworked it this last year. They they're in they're in limbo. I mean
Well, they
they're
got 2 years left. If you get rid of, it already looks like they're doing something that he's not going to play next year, and then you got 1 year left, and then they'll figure that out and say goodbye,
yeah. I
and it'll go down as one of the worst contracts of all time.
I still don't see why they bid it against himself. Nobody
I
was
don't know.
going after Deshaun Watson to play for their team.
I
Absolutely
don't know.
nobody.
It's upset. How do I want to say? Somebody, nobody was ever held accountable for the decision that was made to say dump Baker Mayfield and get Deshaun Watson. Somebody made that decision and they still have a job, and that's a little shocking to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
little odd.
maybe Baker was not a good fit for the system that Stefanski wants to run, and
I do.
that's possible. And then
I think Baker.
Baker was pretty arrogant
Yeah,
about who he was. He
you do
was
make me
pretty
think.
arrogant.
So Baker goes from the Browns. He went to the Panthers.
Right.
Didn't do much there. Goes to the Rams. Had that one breakout. Maybe, maybe Baker needed to hit bottom
Right.
before he realized I can't do this anymore. I need to stop doing commercials. I need to stop getting in people's faces
Right.
and just play ball. I
Now
don't need. Yeah.
he will still get into a defender's face, but because
But he has
he is who he is.
he's
And so
matured though. He's gotten older and he's matured for sure.
oh yeah. And the
Yeah.
offense that they're running, actually
And they,
I thought he would regress this year because his offensive coordinator from Tampa is now the head coach at
I'm
Carolina. And so I thought he would regress, but apparently the guy who's the OC at Tampa now knows what he needs and how to talk to him, and they
yeah.
yeah. So I
Well,
thought
the
that
other, I was laughing because he also does not have OBJ's dad anymore, putting out social media saying this quarterback stinks. Get my son the ball and all that
yeah,
garbage.
and you
So,
know he has one of the best receivers in the
oh
NFL
heavens, yeah,
who says absolutely nothing
yeah.
to anybody. He just goes out and
Right,
performs.
yeah,
He
no,
just
speaking of which, I saw so right, Evans got his 1,000 yards, and I saw a post somewhere that somebody said because he caught a couple passes, he was padding his stats. Not if you're just catching two passes, that's fine.
well,
You
no,
know,
he
that's
was
not padding your stats.
kind of padding his he was kind of padding his stats because he had to reach a
A thousand, right?
he had to reach 1,000 yards. If he got to 1,000 yards, that would be it was his 11th straight season, and it was a $3 million bonus. So on the last drive that they got the ball, when they could have just knelt down, and I think who did they play?
New Orleans?
Yes, New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think New Orleans allowed him to catch the pass and gain 7 yards, which got him over 1,000 for the 11th straight year.
That one doesn't bother me that much.
Oh no, it doesn't bother me either. And
Yeah.
they were going to get him his 1,000 yards. I mean,
Yeah,
they were
I'm fine
going
with
to.
that one.
So the Saints.
The Mark Gastineau being mad at Brett Favre, I get that one. Favre laid down like a lamb
Oh,
on
yeah.
that play and
Yeah.
gave it to him. Yeah.
Well, now, and a lot of people don't know this or maybe forgot. Favre did not like Mark Gastineau. He did that on
Yeah.
he did that on purpose because
Oh,
he
probably.
said Gastineau should not have the sack record. So he did it. He did it on
And
purpose,
Favre did like Strahan. We know that.
and he did like Strahan. So he wanted Strahan to get the record. But now T.J. Watt is tied with Strahan for most in the season.
When that happened?
Oh, a year or two ago when he won the Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Watt. How do I? T.J. Watt, great player. I'm not going to take that away. I think there's sometimes he gets a little overhyped because I don't think he did much the last 3 or 4 games, but I might be wrong. I don't know, but
Well, the last 3 or 4 games, he hasn't played well, but you can't hold that against him. I mean,
No.
he's not overhyped. The guy,
and I
think
tell
he-
you, I'm making my prediction is the Steelers will end up with a defensive end on the other side of him next year to free him up, I think.
Oh no, they already have the guy. Highsmith is good. Alex Highsmith is really good. So he's come in with some sacks when they double teamed
TJ.
Watt. Yeah, well, yeah. So no, they don't have to unless they don't want to pay Highsmith, and I don't know what he's making. So they might draft an edge. They might draft an
I
edge.
just always think Pittsburgh's another. They usually go defense first. To me.
Yeah, usually. Now I saw a mock draft that had them drafting a wide receiver. Reason being was because when Pickens was hurt, the offense was non-existent, and so
Yeah, true.
they need to get somebody on the other side.
Well,
So-
and we do know that Rasputin, and for those of us, those of you, that's Mike Tomlin. But we know if Pickens continues behaving the way he does with his just kind of nonsense at times,
Oh yeah.
Tomlin will get tired and dump him.
Oh
He'll
yeah.
dump him.
Yeah. Tomlin would be happy to let him go.
Yeah, he'll just
So,
let him walk. Yeah.
Yeah. And now Ryan Clark, who played for Tomlin, he said something a week or two ago about insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah.
And he said for that reason and that reason only, Pittsburgh should probably move on from Mike Tomlin because you're going to get what you're going to get. And if you want it to be different, you gotta move on. So
There's still, that's not, you can't,
unless Tomlin quits, I don't think Pittsburgh will let him go.
I wouldn't.
Who would?
Tomlin, I don't think you can pin what stops the Steelers from getting. I'd actually say that Tomlin's a miracle maker.
Oh yeah.
He does more we always say this. Hugh Jackson made Jason Campbell a winner, or at least a 500 quarterback. Mike Tomlin has made Kenny Pickett's and Mason Rudolph, some of these guys, he's made them winning quarterbacks.
Duck Hodges.
Yeah,
He won.
he's a miracle maker more than he is a problem.
Those are not Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
And
And so,
the Steelers are they're good enough to make the playoffs, but I would think immediately, are they as good as, say, a team like the Ravens, Bills, or Chiefs? They're just not.
although the Steelers pretty much kind of beat the Ravens a lot, and they're not
It's a
nearly as
physical game, yeah.
yeah, they're
But then
not
also,
nearly
if
as
you
good as the
look at
Ravens.
those three, you got Lamar, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah,
and you got Russell Wilson and and again Doc Hodges or whoever.
yeah.
So why are you blaming? And that's Tomlin's fault? No.
I don't think they're blaming him. I would like to see if I think they're going to move on from Russell Wilson, and I think
Probably.
they're going to move on from Arthur Smith as the
Wow.
offensive coordinator.
Woo.
They need to get a younger, more forward-thinking offensive coordinator in
Yeah.
to develop Justin Fields, because around Justin Fields there's a good enough team. They've got a great defense,
Yeah.
and at one
They- 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 they-
mock draft I saw, I showed the Steelers taking Jonty from Boise State and moving on from Najee Harris.
Well, I was gonna
I
say,
think that would be a good idea if they can do that.
I tell you, how would I? This is literally just coming in my mind. Najee Harris, I like Najee Harris. Najee Harris to me is a little bit like Kareem Hunt. He's going to get you to 3 to 5 yards. Is Najee Harris going to break out and bust out a 35-yard TD run? He's probably not.
No,
He'll get you those 5 yards and 3 yards, but yeah, I'm not. As a Browns fan, the Steelers' offense doesn't scare me that much.
no. Well, not just
I'm more concerned with their defense than their
not
offense.
just as a Browns fan. The Steelers' offense doesn't scare anybody.
Yeah,
I
probably
mean, no
not.
one.
Yeah,
So it's just
Yeah.
kind of,
but I do like. We said this during the season. I think his name's Jalen Warren, number 30. The other running back for the
Right.
Steelers
Yeah.
is more effective than
Right.
Najee. Yeah.
yeah, he is, and that's why Jonty would be a good fit because he can carry the ball pretty much every down.
I
And
do think Pittsburgh, to me, I'm just out of all those teams in the AFC North, really to me is defined by defense and run the ball.
oh yeah,
That's why the Steelers
yeah, but
philosophy.
if you're only picking up 3 or 4 yards a run, then there's nothing.
Yeah, then it ain't gonna work. Yeah,
And then there's nothing. So
Yeah.
Harris is only picking up 3 or 4 yards a run.
that's
So
a normal Najee
so,
Harris
so
run.
it's nothing. Yeah.
Right.
So you gotta have
That to
have
me is
both
kind of like a
sides.
Kareem Hunt. Runs hard, but it's like, man, the guy's running hard, but he's kind of not going anywhere either.
No. So well, I'm looking forward to the playoffs for next. I think it's next. Oh
Well,
no,
they
it's
got this
it's,
stuff
Thur-
on.
it's Thursday and Friday are the college football playoffs.
Yeah,
That'll be nice. That'll be good to see. And then the 20th, which I think is a week from Monday. I think the day is the 6th.
the third is, or wait a minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
today
right.
is the 6th.
Yeah.
And so the finals for college playoff are 2 weeks from today. So that'll be nice to see who gets into that. And then I think Saturday starts the first round of the NFL playoffs.
Which is on all over. I think the NFL's doing it to us again. They got it on Prime, Nickelodeon, so they can slime people. And I don't know why they got it on
I
Nickelodeon.
think it's on ESPN and Prime, but I think it's on ABC also,
Uh,
and it's got to be on CBS and Fox also.
that's true too.
Yeah, so because that's who their contract is with.
And yeah,
So
we'll have Tom Brady doing the Super Bowl. Who knows?
yeah, and then I think there's a Monday night game next week, and then I think there's a Sunday night game also. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So I just want to say thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Another year we've gotten through. It's been great, and to our
Wow, yeah.
five or six listeners who listen to us every week, thank you so
Yep.
very much. And to my brother Michael, congratulations.
Yeah. Number one
Detroit
seed.
played well last night, and they look like the team to beat. So,
I don't see any.
well, I'm not gonna say that
Well,
because
I'm going to be honest. On my Michael, you're in good shape. I'll put it that. Only team I
yeah,
think could get in your way is Philadelphia.
I'm not
That's
gonna
it.
say because they don't play on paper, so you
Yeah,
just don't
true.
know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it open for what's
Let
gonna happen.
Michael.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, buddy. Well, thank you again. It's time for a little traveling music for the season finale. I want to thank everybody, and hey, peace and love.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's all we have this
Oh.
coming year. So we shall see. So let's see. Let's get this going. This works for both incoming and outgoing. All right. Thank you so much for another fun season. I'm Otis,
And I'm Gary.
and this is Two Guys Catching Up on Football.
Peace out.
Ciao.